Of course.
There's the wave.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Hill. I'm here in Edmond, Oklahoma. We're at the Oklahoma Hazmat Conference, but it's so much more than that. And I'm just so appreciative that so many amazing first responders and professionals and HSE people, so many industries are here to promote safety, fire, rescue, knowledge sharing. So just introduce yourself real quick to everybody out there. Go ahead.
Patrick Durham, I'm from StacheD Training.
Adam McFadden, Toronto, Canada with Firehouse Training.
Yeah, we got the whole country pretty much represented. Oh wait, we're international here. This is Chris Pfaff with HazmatandRescue. I'm out of Washington State.
The 51st state.
Oh, now,
And the StacheD Training, you guys understood that right away.
Governor Trudeau sends his best.
Yeah. We already decided this week we're gonna make you governor. I think you're ready.
I like that. I like that.
After the training
sounds good.
on Saturday. So I just was fortunate. I'm part of the MCEPS group here in Oklahoma. That's an oil and gas industry safety culture, leadership, where we, bring people together once a month or once a quarter at least to offer training, the best minds in the industry that we can find to, work to promote, safety. And Night Fire, of course, has our stuff, so it's just, fits in. And then I met John Carpenter, who runs this show, and then got to meet you guys. Nice. So I've been completely impressed by what you all are doing. 30,000 foot view, 5 minutes. What classes did you teach this week?
So I taught managing large-scale lithium-ion battery incidents, incident response to battery energy storage systems, so grid-scale energy storage involving lithium-ion batteries. And then I taught with Chris over there from lithium-ion batteries, incidents from start to finish.
This is so vital. You guys have all become, I know you always say I'm no expert, I'm always learning, but you are. You've worked really hard, all three of you, on the energy industry side of things. And I know you're all in fire and hazmat, but you bring so much to the table on what our industry is about to encounter, which is a huge influx of energy demand, which we're going to, everybody in energy industry, we're a solution industry, and the solution will be to provide more energy for more energy demand. But we charge ahead, like you guys go downrange, right, to rescue people. We go downrange to make sure that people have energy without thought to the end of that, which might be a huge risk to our own lives and our communities. Oil and gas has our hydrocarbons that are flammable, combustible, best systems, on and on and on. So you all are providing training on the backside of things. Now, what's your class that you taught?
Yes, obviously with the changing technology, and a changing world, my class yesterday on terrorism response for large area event venues, football stadiums, hockey arenas, concert halls, you're looking at the changing, political and climate that we're living in. We know that there is a great risk. And with that even comes utilizing lithium-ion batteries to injure people or hurt people. And then we have to take all that into consideration when it comes to how we can adapt these changing times and changing technology into our fire training. The other class that we just finished up here today with my partner in crime, Chris Pfaff from HazmatandRescue, dealing with flammable and combustible liquids at fixed facilities, road transportation, rail car events, and dealing with not just those hazardous materials, but also the changing and emerging trends that are coming with that. So the changing foams that we will be using that are more environmentally friendly and safer for us as first responders to handle.
What were your classes?
You spoke on it pretty well, Matt, there. Like the energy sector, that's a lot what hazardous materials is. It's not everything, but it is a lot of what hazardous materials is, whether it be flammable, combustible, liquid firefighting like I did with Adam, or lithium-ion batteries start to finish like I did with Patrick, making sure that we're prepared for that. I also instructed hazmat mapping, pretty much bridging the gap between emergency management and emergency responders, so we can have those connections. We talked about that a little bit in today's presentation for flammable liquid firefighting, because there is a partnership partnership between government and between the private entities. And sometimes governmental entities think that they have all the answers and the privates, they just suck. Like, no, the privates are, they have a ton of tools and a large scale of tools and resources to be able to support the response. And sometimes they may be better responders than even our public representatives.
We were all chomping at the bit, wondering when California was going to call the frack fleets out to put a straw in the ocean and get water out to the communities that fast.
Yeah. That's tools that the private entities do not have. And industry has come up together with everything pretty heavily. And in hazardous materials, and coming into the last presentation I did with Toby Bevilacqua on the NFPA 470 committee, was Hazmat, the board game. And it was taking a concept that we have in our normal world, in our environment, and we're just trying to gamify hazmat tactics in a true sense. But just like you talked about with the frac devices that you guys have, with everything, if I go back to just basic firefighting, and a Halligan or a pickhead axe or even a flathead axe, that didn't start on a fire engine. That came from general industry of something else. Air monitors for hazmat technicians came from the mining industry. And we continue to get tools from the private innovators that make our job better. And we're starting to see that in the lithium-ion battery realm. And that's what I'm trying to do, at least with the board game, trying to make hazmat fun. So there's a lot of innovation, there's a lot of collaboration when it comes down between private and public sector with that in response for these emergencies.
Well, we in Oklahoma, we want to attract these data centers, which means we can go out and drill natural gas wells, we can power generators with that natural gas, we can add BESS systems for clean power, without the waves, up and downs of generators, and then those BESS systems power the data centers. So with that, we have both, the combustibles, the flammables, the gases, the BESS systems, and the possible spicy incidents that may occur. And one of the things that got me today, and why I really appreciate your classes, and what kind of turned my stomach a little bit, but flipped on a switch, is our industry will be forced to, or we will adopt it ourselves. There's, we talked about, there's 80% of our firefighters are untrained and volunteers, and I love them and thank you for their, work and sacrifice. But a lot of that is because we as an industry are not doing enough a better job. And this is, something you can speak on, how we can better collaborate with first response. But one of the things you guys say over and over again, why are we not mitigating our own risk? Why are we not doing it as an industry to put those systems out there to stop these events in their incipient stages, so that when you guys get there, you're more of a containment or a cleanup or a, just checking us out kind of regulatory, hey, everything's good, you guys put it out yourselves.
So one thing you have to realize, and I look mostly at the battery energy storage side, is the industry has to realize they have a problem. And for a long time, they just, had the blinders on, our systems don't catch on fire, we're using X chemistry and it can't catch on fire, and they don't actually acknowledge that they have a problem and that they're actually a fire risk. I mean, we're all in the fire service, we understand failures happen. I always compare it to a house fire. Most people will never experience a house fire in their life. It's just not really a risk. There's a risk there, but for most people, they'll never experience it. But I went to probably 30 house fires last year. I mean, how many did you go to?
Lots,
right?
Yeah.
Chris?
Tons of fire investigations, over 60.
It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
Right,
Definitely.
and we see those failures because that's what our job is to respond to those failures. So we understand things fail, and you've got to be prepared for those failures.
Well, I just want everybody to find these amazing gentlemen, reach out to them, and ask them to come and speak to your own groups. They all have, different ways you can reach out to them and get them to come train your people and your particular, group. Whatever it is, they can address those subjects. How do people get a hold of you?
So probably the best way to find me is on YouTube, at StacheD Training, StacheD Training. I've got a lot of content out there around real world events. So what's actually been failing out in the real world, I break it down and talk about what's going on.
Yeah, ourselves, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Firehouse Training. You won't see any crazy hazmat dances or anything there, but we do got some pretty good content there. And I do like to team up with these gentlemen as we co-promote each other's amazing training. So we just do what we can to make training great again.
There we go. And the big thing about that is that collaboration between the three of us on this and many others. When you come to a conference, whether it be a fire conference, whether it be an industry conference, a hazmat conference, pass out that card, get the connections, get the partnerships, whether it be private and public or any realm of that, and have a thick Rolodex, or other words, a thick phone book in your phone with lots of contacts. You can reach us over at HazmatandRescue.com, where we have online training for lithium-ion batteries. Even though Patrick is the expert with all the brand new stuff, we have continuing training and education for lithium-ion batteries, hazardous materials awareness, operations technician, working on incident command. Of course, you can check us over on Instagram, Tickety Talks, the X with Hazmat Minutes.
There you go. Network, reach out, collaborate, get involved in your safety culture and your industry. For this, go to HazmatOklahoma.com. There's plenty of ways to get involved with this particular conference. We want to see this grow in Oklahoma, but also maybe, you know, if you're watching from another state, see what parts of your state has an industry or an energy industry collaboration that comes together, you know, with your first responders. And also here in Oklahoma, we have the MSEPS group, so they're part of the National SEPS program. So thank you all for what you do. I'm just completely thankful for being part of this with you guys this year, and honored to take part in this, and always humbled by your amazing knowledge.
Thanks, brother, having us out. Appreciate it.
Look for them on the fireman calendar too. Beautiful. Take care, everybody. God bless.
There you go. Here's the way.
Gotcha.